LeBron James is the greatest NBA player ever. Bold statement? Maybe. But today, I'll prove why it's the truth. If you're still on the fence, or if you're convinced otherwise, stick around, because we're breaking it all down: his longevity, his versatility, his impact. By the end, you might just see things differently. But before we dive in, let me ask you this: how do you define greatness? Is it rings? Is it stats? Is it the impact a player leaves on the game? Think about that as we go through this, because I guarantee, by the time we're done, LeBron will check every box. Greatness isn't just about what you accomplish, it's about how long you sustain it. And when it comes to longevity, no one in NBA history comes close to LeBron James. I still remember the first time I watched LeBron dominate a game. It wasn't just about the insane dunks or clutch shots, it was his energy. His presence. As a young man, watching him felt personal. His game was a reminder that resilience changes everything. And maybe you felt it too. Maybe you've been doubted, counted out, told you weren't good enough. But LeBron? He turned doubt into dominance. And that's why he's more than just a player. He's a symbol of pushing through, of proving doubters wrong, of rewriting history. Think about his journey: a kid from Akron, Ohio, raised by a single mother who worked multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. LeBron moved from apartment to apartment, often unsure of where he'd be staying next. Stability was a luxury he didn't have. Basketball became his escape, his one constant. Despite the odds stacked against him, he never used his circumstances as an excuse. Instead, he used them as fuel to push forward, to work harder, to prove that he was destined for greatness. From the moment he stepped into the NBA, he wasn't just playing basketball, he was carrying the weight of a city, the expectations of a league, and the burden of being compared to the greatest ever. And speaking of rewriting history, let's start with something that no other player has done: sustained dominance for over 2 decades. 1. Longevity and adaptability. Longevity isn't just about staying in the league, it's about dominating across decades. Most NBA players peak around ages 26 to 30 before starting to decline. But LeBron? He stayed at an MVP level for over 20 years. Different eras, different teams, different systems, he's evolved with the game, staying one step ahead. LeBron James' ability to sustain peak performance over 2 decades is nothing short of extraordinary. While most athletes fight against time, LeBron seems to have mastered it, continuously evolving his game and body to remain dominant in an ever-changing league. Durability. Unlike many NBA superstars who have succumbed to injuries and physical decline, LeBron has taken an unprecedented approach to maintaining his body. He reportedly invests over $1.5 million annually into cutting-edge sports science, including advanced cryotherapy, hyperbaric chambers, specialized strength and conditioning programs, and meticulously tailored nutrition plans. His commitment to longevity has allowed him to avoid significant injuries and maintain peak physical condition well into his late 30s. While players like Derrick Rose, Tracy McGrady, and Grant Hill saw their careers derailed by injuries, LeBron has thrived due to his meticulous approach to self-care. A skill evolution. Early in his career, LeBron was known for his explosive athleticism and raw power, an unstoppable freight train attacking the rim. But as the NBA evolved into a more three-point-oriented game, so did he. Over the years, he developed a reliable three-point shot, a polished post-up game, and an elite mid-range jumper. His ability to adapt and refine his skill set ensures that even as his athleticism slightly declines, his impact on the game remains as significant as ever. This adaptability is a hallmark of true greatness, something only a few legends, like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, have been able to achieve. Peak performance at 39. Most NBA stars experience a sharp decline in their production after crossing 35. LeBron? He's still putting up MVP-level numbers. In the 2024 season, at age 39, he averaged 25.7 points, 8.3 assists, and 7.3 rebounds per game, a stat line that rivals the primes of many Hall of Famers. Compare this to past greats like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Dirk Nowitzki, who by their late 30s had seen significant declines in their production. LeBron's sustained excellence defies the traditional aging curve and challenges what we thought was possible for an NBA player. 2. Comparing longevity to past legends. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the GOAT by many, Jordan took 2 retirements and by his late 30s, his dominance had significantly waned. His comeback with the Washington Wizards showed flashes of brilliance but lacked the sustained excellence he had in his prime. Unlike LeBron, who remains a top-tier player in his late 30s, Jordan struggled to keep up with the younger generation towards the end of his career. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant forces in NBA history, but his career declined rapidly due to injuries and conditioning issues. By his mid-30s, he was bouncing between teams and was no longer the dominant force he once was. Unlike LeBron, who has meticulously taken care of his body, Shaq's reliance on raw physical dominance didn't allow him to maintain elite performance as he aged. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the closest comparison to LeBron in terms of longevity. Kareem played until he was 42 but transitioned into a secondary role in his later years. He remained effective but was no longer the focal point of his teams. LeBron, on the other hand, continues to be the main star, carrying his team even as he approaches 40. Key statistic: LeBron James is the only player in NBA history to average over 25 points per game for 20 consecutive seasons. No one else even comes close. But longevity alone isn't enough. A player could last 20 years and still not be considered the GOAT. It's what he does during those years that matters. So, let's talk about something that separates LeBron from everyone else: his versatility. 3. Versatility and all-around excellence. Most NBA legends have a specialty. Shaq? Dominant post scorer. Curry? Greatest shooter. Jordan? Scoring assassin. But LeBron? He does everything. And he does it at an elite level. Breaking down LeBron's versatility. LeBron James isn't just a scorer, a passer, or a defender. He's a complete basketball machine, a player capable of excelling in every aspect of the game. This level of versatility is almost unheard of at the highest levels of basketball. Scoring: unlike many players who thrive in one or two scoring areas, LeBron has mastered multiple facets of scoring. He can bully defenders in the post, slash through defenses with raw power, pull up from mid-range with precision, and drain deep threes when needed. His ability to adapt his scoring to different defenses and rule changes over the years is what makes him an all-time great. While players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant relied heavily on isolation scoring, LeBron's scoring efficiency comes from his ability to involve teammates, read defenses, and exploit weaknesses in real time. Playmaking: he's not just a great passer, he's one of the greatest facilitators in NBA history. Ranking in the top 5 in all-time assists, LeBron has the court vision and IQ of an elite point guard despite being 6 feet 9 inches and 250 pounds. He's a master at creating plays for teammates, whether it's driving and dishing to a shooter, threading a needle pass in transition, or orchestrating an offense from the post. His passing ability makes him an offensive engine that improves the performance of every team he plays for. Defense: LeBron's defensive versatility is just as impressive. He has successfully guarded positions 1 through 5, shutting down elite guards like Derrick Rose, contesting wing scorers like Kawhi Leonard, and even holding his own against dominant big men like Nikola Jokic. His basketball IQ allows him to anticipate plays, make clutch defensive stops, and deliver iconic moments like his legendary chase-down block in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. While some superstars focus only on offense, LeBron's defensive impact has often been the key to his team's success. Basketball IQ: one of LeBron's most underrated traits is his mind. He doesn't just play the game, he sees the game several steps ahead, much like a chess grandmaster. Whether it's adjusting defensive schemes, calling out opponents' plays before they happen, or controlling the tempo of a game, his ability to think at an elite level has kept him dominant for 2 decades. His understanding of basketball is so deep that coaches and analysts have often compared him to having a coach's mind on the court. Key statistic: LeBron is the only player in NBA history with over 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. His impact touches every part of the game. But beyond individual stats, what about his impact on teams? How does LeBron elevate the players around him? If you enjoyed this deep dive, show some love by hitting that like button, subscribing for more real basketball insights, and turning on notifications so you never miss out. But now, it's your turn. Where do you stand? Is LeBron the undisputed GOAT, or do you have another name in mind? Drop a comment below with your best argument, and let's keep this debate alive. I'll be responding to some of the best takes, so make sure your voice is heard.